punching bag, but all it has done, just like they love to punch me too, just to be honest, but it just makes you stronger, and it makes you sure when you are over the target and you're taking flak, you are doing the right thing. Okay, we are now going to hear from some candidates who are not currently in office. The order, according to Chairwoman Jeannie Kench, is the order that people arrived, basically, and checked in with Miss Jeannie. So there's no favoritism here. We want you to listen to everybody. We want you to get to know them. We want you to ask them questions afterwards. I want to see you take some pictures and post it on social media with these really brave men and women who are willing to stand up and represent you. So I'm gonna give you the next three so that you guys can be ready. John Gillette, Donna McCoy, and Mike Cobb. So Donna, you're on deck, and let's welcome a veteran, a fighter, a person from Kingman, who wants to represent you, who wants to join the team that we have in Mojave County, John Gillette.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Wow, great to be here today. I'm glad to be back up here. This is my 4th trip to Colorado City. Every time has been great. The problem is, being a candidate, I follow all the great leaders in front of me that are already in office. That makes it hard. You know, they take all the steam. These guys are rock stars, and we need to keep them in office. But who am I? My name is John Gillette. I'm a retired Command Sergeant Major from the Army, 35 years of service. How many veterans do we have out here? Quite a few. So those of you that are not veterans, Command Sergeant Major is a rank attained by very few. 1% of Americans go into the military. Less than 1% qualify and actually make it in the military. 0.8% of that 1%, so less than 1% of the 1%, achieve Command Sergeant Major. It's a difficult task. It's an achievement just to get to that rank. You have to have a body of work just to get there. So did I ever think I would be doing this? Absolutely not. But the COVID lockdowns, the restrictions, government overreach, that is bringing myself and other veterans out of the woodwork to run for public office, because we have to do something to make sure we retain our country as written in the Constitution. You heard Leo and Sonny and Paul all speak of the 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment is one of the most important amendments because it's our state sovereignty, our state right. That is huge. The 9th Amendment, if you don't know, that is your right as an individual. What is not enumerated in the Constitution, state and federal, is left to the people. That is our right. It doesn't have to be documented in any paper to be our right. So if you want to do it, that is your right to do it. And those two amendments work together for our personal sovereignty and our state sovereignty. So right now, you should be getting one of these passed out by my 7-year-old twins and my lovely wife, and whoever else is passing them out. But this is a resume. I did a resume for my last event and this event because this is a job. I'm running for a job. I don't have a political record. I don't have any voting record or any kind of political leg to stand on. I'm just a person, a citizen that was upset with the COVID. So what I've done is I put a list of accomplishments on here to show the body of work that I've done in the military and what I did to get our school open. During the lockdowns, I learned that I can do a lot of things in the military. I had several jobs. I instructed at sniper school. I did some other instruction. I taught soldiers how to be soldiers. That was an easy job compared to teaching a 7-year-old math. I realized that teachers are a special breed. Our children need to be in school. That's what got me into this. So I did a FOIA request on the health department, the schools, and learned that there was some overreach there. And I fought that overreach, and I was able to convince my school through the board, through their administration, that they were in violation of the law. Arizona law says children between 6 and 16 shall be in public instruction. There's no COVID carve out. There's no emergency carve out. The only one it is the governor's emergency that he can extend downward for 72 hours. That was being violated. You know, the schools were closed for weeks and weeks. But I was able to convince them through PowerPoint, scientific data, and the law that, hey, we're going to sue you if you don't follow the law. Not for money, because our schools are broke, but you must follow the law. They agreed. So our school opened and we got masks off. Kids went back to school. Everything is happy. The more overreach that I witnessed, the more I started to act, and that is what has driven me here. So by now, hopefully, I've rambled on long enough that everybody has one of these, but I just want to walk you through the accomplishments really quick. Command Sergeant Major, less than 8% of the Army. I served on 2 presidential details. This is not something that everyone does. How many here have served on a presidential detail? How many here have written the operation order for a presidential detail? This is something for, unfortunately, President Obama that I was tasked to do, and President Bush. Distinctly different individuals, distinctly different security concerns. Rarely does someone of the rank of Command Sergeant Major get to do this. But that was my skill set, and I was chosen to do it. I've also written field manuals for drug operations that are still in use today. So I have looked at policy. I've written policy that's still in use in law enforcement and the military. I also served on a government anti-terrorist team across the globe. Pretty much everywhere that you can imagine that we've been fighting, I've been there. And I'll say that President Trump, you hear a lot of bad stuff, you hear all this nonsense, but President Trump is the only president that did not send me to war or put me in harm's way. Everyone from Reagan when I started through Obama sent me somewhere, put me and my contemporaries in harm's way. President Trump, as you saw, he angered the military complex. He was withdrawing troops. His last act was to withdraw troops from Syria and see that Biden put them right back in. You know, I don't know if many people know this, we have no business in Syria. So that's me in a very short ramble. I'm a veteran, a father, a concerned citizen. This is what I've done my whole life. I've served my country, I've bled for my country, and now I want to serve my state as a representative. As a team player, you know, we already have Sonny, he's not going anywhere. We have Leo, he's the incumbent that's going to walk in. They need a sergeant major on their team. I am that sergeant major to work on that team. I'll be at my booth. Any questions, come let me know. I'll answer the easy ones first, then the hard ones. But please take a look at my accomplishments, my signed letter from President Trump. This is very rare that you get this. Yes, sir.
Okay, Sergeant Major, so you're honored to serve on the team. Are you going to come in with a Sergeant Major attitude and try to bully around a gunny?
Just depends. Absolutely not. You know, and I'll answer that question for real, Sonny, because that's been a concern on the campaign trail. Do we work as a team? There is nobody that understands teamwork more so than the military, because if we don't function as a team, if we don't work in lockstep together, we die. That is the result of poor teammanship, poor strategy. So as a sergeant major, you have to understand, generally the leader. But in this case, there are 2 incumbents that are very skilled strategically, very astute politically, and they have done the right things. I will follow them and I will learn from them, and they will be the subject matter experts and I will be the student, but a student that has a list of accomplishments. Thank you very much.